Welcome back. What we're looking on here is question 4 of the January 2022 paper 2. All right, let's get on board. So we're looking on a function question here. So it's function. So it says 3 functions. We have f, g, and h are defined. All right, so we're seeing what they're defined as down here. F of x is equal to 2x minus 1, g of x is equal to 3x plus 2, and h of x is equal to 5 raised to the power of x. All right, first question, find the value of 1f of a half. All right, so we're going to use f of x is equal to 2x minus 1. We intend to find f of a half, which simply means that I am going to be substituting a half where x is in the f function right there. So basically, we are going to have 2 times a half, then we take 1 from it. Right now, we could see that 2 times a half is 1. When we minus 1, we end up with 0. So this means f of a half gives us 0. All right, but h of x, right? H of x is equal to 5 raised to the x, right? So you could see where our x is up there. So 5 raised to the x. So if I'm finding h of 0, then basically I'm finding 5 raised to the power of 0. But we definitely know that anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So therefore, h of 0 has a value of 1. All right, let's go further. Let's go further. At this stage, we are supposed to do g squared of -3. But let's take a peep on what the g function is. So there it is, g of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Now, one of the problems that we have, a lot of people might think that g squared -3 of -3 means that you could find g of -3 and square that answer. We definitely need to represent what this really means. This really means g of -3. This is what this really means. So what's my intention? My intention, though, is that I'm going to find out what is g of -3 first. And when I find that value for g of -3, that value will be substituted again in the g function there. So let us go out to find what is g of -3. So using the g function here, my intention is to find g of -3, which means I am going to plug in -3 right there and substitute it, right? So therefore, I have 3 times -3, and then I'm going to be adding 2. What we're looking at is -9 plus 2, and this lands us -7. So this is the answer that I have right now, right? So right now, g of -3 is -7. So it is, so now I'm going to plug -7. I'm going to plug, so this here, this function here, value is -7. So I'm going to plug this -7 in the g function. All right, so let's go again. Remember, g of x is equal to 3x plus 2. All right, so then we're going to have g of -7 again. So it's going to be 3 times -7. Then I'm going to be adding 2. I'm getting -21 plus 2, and that gives me -19. So for conclusion, I could just write g squared of -3 is equal to -19. And here is my solution. That's the solution right here. All right. we want to find f of g of x, giving your answer in its simplest form. So let me go for the f function. We know what the g function is. So let me write the g function right now. Remember that the g function is equal to 3x plus 2. So let me go for the f function. Just 2x minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 1. Now, I am setting out to find g of f of x. Now, a composite function, which means that I'm going to be working it backwards. So what I'm going to do is to have the g function, which is 3x plus 2. And then having the g function, I am going to insert f wherever the x is in the g function. So then I'll have g of f of x, which is equal to 3 times f of x plus 2. Definitely you're seeing where we're putting in the f function in the g function. Let us just finalize what we have. Remember though that the f function is 2x minus 1, and then we're going to be adding back 2. Let's distribute this. 3 2s, that is 6x minus 3. So 6x minus 3 plus 2. And then finally, we could conclude here that g of f of x is equal to 6x minus 1. Very good. Right, so that is my g function. So the next question is asking us to do the inverse of g of x. Remember that the g function is that g of x is equal to 3x plus 2. So we're going to do the inverse of this function. But in order to do this, let us write this statement. We want to say let g of x is equal to y, such that we could rewrite this as y is equal to 3x plus 2. Now, what the inverse function really means is that x will take the place of y and y will take the place of x. So that is what the inverse is. So we're going to quickly switch these, all right? So in switching these, I'm going to say x is equal to 3y plus 2. And then we're going to transpose easily, all right? So we're going to transpose easily by transpose for the new y. So the only intention I have now is to isolate so that the y is by itself. So I want to get the y by itself. So in order to do that, I'm definitely going to be working on number 2 here. So I'm going to subtract 2 from that side and subtract 2 from this. So I'm going to rewrite this. X minus 2 is equal to 3y. Remember, I only need the y. I'm going to divide by 3. I'm going to divide this by 3. So if I should cancel down this, definitely you're seeing here that y is equal to x minus 2 all over 3. But nobody asks us to find y. So definitely I'm going to write this the proper way. The inverse of g of x is equal to x minus 2 over 3. Now, so that is the inverse of g of x. All right, let's go further to see what we have. Now, the question says, hence or otherwise. So this is a very powerful statement. Hence means that I could use my response. In other words, hence is saying that since the inverse of g of x is x minus 2 over 3, you can use this to solve the problem. All right, so that's my hence. So hence, I'm going to use my hence and just go ahead. So in other words, then the question is, what value could come here? And when it's worked out, I get 4 for my answer. That's what this is saying. Now let's go ahead and work it out. So I'm saying x minus 2 over 3, let that equal to 4. So we're going to solve. So in solving, I could put this over 1. I could cross multiply. So I could say 1 times x minus 2 is equal to 3 times 4. So anything times 1 remains the same. So x minus 2 is equal to 12. And then how do I get this out? I'm going to be adding 2 to both sides. Definitely x is equal to 14. So what the solution is saying is that if x is equal to 14, then the inverse of g of x is 4. All right. Thank you for watching. Please remember to, if you like the videos and you like how this was taught, subscribe to Daily Math Concepts on YouTube, right? Subscribe to Daily Math Concepts. Or if you need help for online classes, you could WhatsApp me at 876-481-8561. Yeah, we have some nice live online classes on Zoom, and you will be learning a lot for CXC 2022. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.